It's very interesting to dig into how model thinks, right? In Andrej Karpathy's class, he mentioned models need tokens to think. What does it really mean? Consider the following prompts when we are trying to train a model to do simple math problem. So we are kind of creating a conversation in the supervised fine-tuning process to fine-tune the model to think about a math problem. The question goes: Emily buys 3 apples and 2 oranges. Each orange costs $2. The total costs of all the fruit is $13. What is the cost of apples? Right. This is a very simple question. The correct answer is $3. We have two answers side by side, one on top, one on bottom. They both gave correct answers, but one answer is significantly better than the other. And if you use the wrong answer, you are basically your model are not going to be able to do math problem, and it's not going to help. So which answer is better and which one is worse? It has to do with how the language model works, right? So if we look at this picture, it's very simple structure of language model. It has numerous layers from the beginning to the end. When model predicts one token, it takes the entire sequence of the token as the input, and they will go through all the operations on all these neurons to the end to get to the output. The output will be the probability of what comes next. So this is basically how the language model works. It's a token predictor machine. It's very important to know that language models, the structure of a language model, like this one, or the actual language model that's much bigger than this one, they have fixed amount of layers in the model. So which means to calculate each token, it takes roughly the fixed amount of calculation to do it. It's not fully true because the bigger the sequence that you fit in, the more expensive the forward pass becomes, but not by much. So here we basically fix the amount of computation. If we look at the answer on top, you realize that it gives a direct and immediate answer in the first sentence. This is the tokenized answer. The answer is given at the fifth token by only one single token. What does it mean? The first 4 token does not contain anything about the calculation. And all of a sudden, at the fifth token, it generates the answer 3, which means the language model only takes one iteration of token generation to get the right answer, which is 3. If we so we can also put this way: until now, the amount of computation the language model takes is basically 1 times the amount of computation that it takes to generate one token, right? After this point, this correct answer is already in the context window to generate all the following tokens. And these are basically the post hoc justification of why the answer is what it is. And these are not really helpful because we already have the answer. So what it means is basically the model is trying to guess the correct answer in one token. It's not going to, be very helpful for it to reason in the math. Whereas the second answer has the final answer at the end. As you can see, from left to right, we're creating intermediate results, and we're getting the model to slowly come to the final answer. In this way, it's only doing very simple calculations at each token, and all these calculations can add up, and by the time it's near the end, it has already has all these previous results in its working memory. So it's very easy for the model to determine that the correct answer is 3. So because the finite computation that happened per token, the second answer is significantly better than the first answer. Now, if we count all the tokens involved in the calculation, it uses at least 5 times the amount of computation as the first answer. So here we are effectively teaching the model to spread out its computation and the reasoning process throughout over all the tokens. This is the simplest way of seeing how model thinks internally, right? And that's why the step-by-step prompting works. It's a very simple example of chain of thought.